Yo, what's good? It's your boy K Fuego back with another YouTube video, man. So a lot of men, they want to get in shape, they want to have a muscle mass, get in a good physique, but in society, bro, you're just gonna have to like say fuck it. You got to go through pain, bro, and it's not necessarily negative pain, but you got to go through and endure a lot of struggle when it comes to getting lean. You're gonna have to cut off a lot of people, a lot of friendships. You're gonna have to stop eating the foods you love, all the sweets, all the snacks, vending machines at work, donuts, all the goofy stuff. You're gonna have to limit that. Eventually, cut them out completely and start eating more whole foods, getting leaner, taking care of your health. Because you know the input is what the output creates, or the input is what the output shows. So by you changing up your whole trajectory of how you eat, how you think about food, using it as fuel instead of using it as just a hobby or just to feel good. So now you feel like, or you accomplish something. So now you decide that you want to eat now. You just start doing better decisions with food and whatnot. So first off, you're gonna have to be more intense with everything that you do in life, bro. You have to have more intensity with your workouts, more intensity with building a business, your job. I'm not saying that you got to work your ass off at your job 80 hours a week, but just be more intentional with what you do so it doesn't feel like a hassle. It doesn't feel like you don't want to be there all the time. And even with workouts, bro, once you get intense with your workouts, you'll start to see like, yo, I'm feeling the burn more. And just because you sweat more doesn't mean that you're burning more calories, but you're still burning calories at the end of the day. Some people are stuck on the couch right now, eating their favorite foods, snacks, watching their favorite Netflix shows, not putting in no work, not moving. The only time they move is when they go to the door to pick up the DoorDash, or when they check the mailbox, or when they get in their car to go somewhere to go shopping, or whatever they got to do. That's the only steps that a majority of people in America get. They don't at least try to walk outside, try to sit in the sunlight for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, get some vitamin D at least once a day. They don't try to do these things, and then they realize later down the line why their body is aching, why they can't move, why they can't even stretch in the morning, and a lot of things that play a part into just daily life. It's because you didn't take the steps when you were younger, and you didn't take the steps right now. Because age is just a number. You can still get in shape, get lean, but you have to have consistency and intensity. If I wasn't working out every 3 days, three days a week, 4 days a week, every week, I wouldn't be changing my body up, getting more muscle, you feel me, locking in. If I wasn't intense with my workouts, if I was skipping workouts, if I was doing only 2 sets, 1 set instead of 3 sets, 4 sets, if I wasn't progressively overloading, I wouldn't look like this. My physique would still look trash. I would still probably be over 20% body fat. But I stayed consistent. Towards the 6 month of my journey, I started locking in more with the intensity. And ever since then, I've just been locked in, just been consistently at least 3 days to 4 days a week, just locking in, working out. You know, 45-minute workouts. I never go past an hour. To this day, I don't work past an hour workouts. Even when I made the membership at the gym, because I go to Crunch Fitness now. But I be in there for 1 hour and I'm out of there, bro. I'm already hitting my workouts. I'm reading my workouts on the phone if I ever forget them. But they're in the back of my head every time I'm working out. But I'm just locking in, locking in, locking in, locking in. And once I see it's around 45 minutes to 50 minutes, I know I got like 2 to 3 workouts left, and then I'm out of there. Probably might get a drink at a water fountain, drink some of my water, and then I'm out. But I'm staying consistent and I'm staying at a high intensity. A lot of people, they take too long of breaks. You know, they rest for too long. They pull out their phone, start doom scrolling in the gym. I feel like that's retarded. And instead of getting locked in, you might forget what set you're on. You might forget how many reps you can do, or you just don't train to failure because you feel like you deserve to not go to failure. When that's where the real muscle building really happens at. And of course, you want to keep 1 rep in reserve depending on how you're trying to build your physique. If you're trying to get lean, aesthetic, then keep 1 to 2 reps in reserve as you're working out, so you don't mess up your form, you don't fuck up your muscles, and you don't get injured. And you just stay intense, you stay at a high intensity, and you stay consistent with it. Like there would be some weeks I wouldn't want to work out, but I would still get up and go work out. I would go on YouTube, watch motivational videos, watch other people working out, go on IG, look at other people's physique, they're in shape, they're doing what they got to do, and I would lock in. I would instantly go outside in the shed, start working out. So there, of course, there's going to be days where you're unmotivated and you don't feel like working out consistently, and you don't feel like being intense with your intentions. But you got to do it, bro, because back, I'll say like a year ago, I probably didn't think that I was ever going to get to this point. I thought it was going to take longer than expected. Or I thought that I was going to be able to still eat the same foods, go to fast food, Burger King, McDonald's, all those shits regularly, how I usually do, and get 3-4 burgers, fries with a drink. They got hella calories in it. That's like that's a 2K calorie meal, and that's not only my only meal for the day. That's what I was doing, bro. I was going to McDonald's, Burger King, getting 2 Whopper Juniors, French fries, 2 McChickens, a McDouble, French fries with a Sprite. I love Sprite, you feel me? So I always used to do that every other day probably, or every day when I started working at my job. Started getting fatter and fatter, fatter and fatter, fatter and fatter. So it's like, I know what I was doing wrong, but I changed it. I had to, the same way I was, you see, I was staying consistent with going to McDonald's and Burger King. So I was consistently getting fat, and I was doing that at a high intensity every day or every other day. That's a high intensity when it comes to getting fat. You get what I'm saying? But I switched it, I reversed it, and I stopped going to McDonald's. Or if I did go to McDonald's, I would only get 1 burger, 1 fry. And then I eventually stopped getting fried fries, only would get 1 burger. And eventually after that, I would stop getting the drinks, and I would get more healthier drinks, or like Coke Zero with 0 sugar or no calories. And eventually, now when I go to fast food places, because I'm not going to act like I'm a perfect human, I still every now and then indulge in Burger King, McDonald's. If I'm getting a Whopper Junior, bro, I just throw the pieces of bread away, and I literally eat the meat, onions, tomatoes, vegetables, and I just keep it as that. And then for the most part at home, I'm making my own foods, ground beef, ground turkey, sweet potatoes, taking care of the main topics or the main foods at home. But when I'm out, I do like to indulge. I'm not going to act like if I pass by a restaurant and I smell how it smells, I'm not going to pass by. That's where the discipline comes in, though. If you're doing that every day, then of course you can't expect to be in a calorie deficit. Eventually you're going to get fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. But every now and then, once you see you're on track, I still indulge and get a little 1-2 burger every now and then. And I just hop back on the horse, stay focused at home, eating clean, lean, staying in the calorie deficit. But a lot of people can't do that. But it took months, 18 months, that's how long I've been working out for. It took 18 months of me being consistent and working at a high intensity to realize it's not the best idea to go do that shit, but if you do it, to hop back on the horse. Your body's already adapted to it, and your identity is already shifted to that version. So regardless, you could, if say for example, I'm nowhere near 10%. I'm probably like 16, 17% right now. If I were to able to get to 10%, I could probably go have a cheat meal, whatever they call it, cheat day, and go to like Outback Steakhouse, eat like 5 steaks. But my body, my identity changed so much that I'm accustomed to the leanest version of myself. I'll just automatically hop back on the horse, still eat the same foods. Like when I say eat the same foods, like still stay in a deficit. I wouldn't change anything drastically because I'm already the leanest version of myself. I already know how to get back to the leanest version of myself. I don't have to go try new fad diets, go follow this influencer, go apply for this online coach. Nah, you don't gotta do none of that. Once you build that consistency and that intensity and you lock in, bro, it's just second nature. That's why they call it muscle stimuli. You could have been an athlete in high school and you stopped working out for 5-10 years. That muscle, you might have lost a lot of muscle mass, but that muscle is still gonna remember times where you're locking in during high school, middle school, whatever sport you played, extracurricular activities. Your muscle's gonna remember, like, okay, I remember these type of movements in my body. So it's gonna adapt easier. It's not like you're gonna get muscle faster than the average person, but it's gonna remember, like, okay, I remember doing these movements back in the day when I had muscle mass. Now you probably got big. You just gotta lock in, stay in a calorie deficit, strength train 4 to 5 times a week, get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, rest, drink a lot of water, get at least minimum 10K steps. Depending on what you want to achieve with your body, if you're trying to get to the leanest version of yourself, then do those steps. If you're trying to gain weight, just stay in a calorie surplus. Still eat the same foods, but just within a surplus. And you lock in, strength train 4 or 5 times a week, progressively overload. So if you do 3 sets of 10 one week, then the next week you want to do 3 sets of 11 or 12 and so on and so forth. Keep 1 rep in reserve, 1 or 2 reps in reserve, and just stay locked in, bro. That's what I've done for 18 months, bro, and this is the difference I've seen with my body. I was 230 pounds, now I'm down to 175, lost 50 plus pounds just by locking in. I didn't do nothing crazy, nothing spectacular, wonderful. Nah, bro, I just stayed locked in, and I slowly started fixing my nutrition and staying consistent in the gym. That's all it was.